Greetings, everyone. This is Eric Stewart from Fishing Fanatics, and I got an awesome guest today, Taylor, who is the owner of Fish or Die Bait Company, which is a veteran-owned and law enforcement-owned operation, a small business located in Nazareth, PA, focused on soft plastic baits and a bunch of other baits, too, that they make. And I'm excited to dive into the story about how they were created and how Taylor kind of came up with the idea to make this company, also the different baits that they have. So how you doing, Taylor?
I'm good, man. How are you? I appreciate you bringing me on.
Absolutely, man. It's good to have you on. It's the first time we met at the Great American Outdoor Show. Got to talking out there, especially being a local guy in the Pennsylvania area, fishing places like Nockamixon and Beltsville. We kind of talked about that before this podcast. But why don't you fill me in and our listeners in about how you kind of got started with the company, Fish or Die Bait Company, how you kind of founded it, what was kind of the idea behind it when you were first starting it out?
So from the get-go, it was kind of negative into a positive. Had a horrendous day at work and came home, did some soul searching, spoke with my wife, and fishing as well as hunting has been one thing since I was, a little guy that I've always been passionate about. And we talked about it, and we just went full throttle head first. I'm a big history guy. I've always loved it. I love the revolutionary time period. So I got the join or die tattoo myself. So we kind of picked that name, did some sketches, some different ideas as far as logo wise, a little twist on Franklin's original, and it was a hit. So we've been cruising ever since.
Damn. So just one bad day of work kind of sets you over the edge and you're like, you know what? I want to really take a run at this thing and try.
Yeah. Yep.
It's actually pretty funny because a lot of times when I hear like story, that's a real story, right? Because it happens every day throughout the United States with small businesses. It's like, man, I'm just fed up working kind of for the man. Let me try this own thing, still keep my own job, but kind of do this on the side and see if it becomes this thing that I kind of grow into. Yeah. And like you said, getting into those retail stores definitely help. But
it's a different animal.
Let's talk about some of the baits you make. I know you make some baits for drop shotting. I know you make some baits for swim baits, kind of focused on the saltwater aspect of it. Let's just run through those a little bit.
Yeah, so we obviously being here, Nazareth, PA, Northeast area, it's finesse fishing mostly. So that's what we were known for. That's what our namesake is. Biggest one being the Gadsden. That's our drop shot bait. That's the moneymaker. That has the 3D eyes that we put on ourselves. And they're killer, man. They've been doing wonders up in New York, Thousand Island areas, a few guys up in Ontario, Erie for myself personally. So that's been killer. We launched the Warbird, which also has the 3D eyes. I designed that as like an alternative to a fluke, fish like a fluke, weightless, crazy action, has an arrowhead tail. But recently we've been getting videos, pictures of guys using it as trailers. And so then obviously I tested it out as a trailer myself, but all these pictures and videos getting sent in, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should start doing this a little bit, rather than the weightless, fishing it like a fluke. And it's been good. So we sell a ton of those. We have the Sherman, which is a 4-inch and a 3-inch creature crawl version. It's a versatile bait. It's best of both worlds. Guys rip off the claws, use it as just the flappers, and vice versa. So that's been doing well. We have a bait that we're launching by the end of June. It should be out. That's our redesigned howitzer. You got to be good. And then by this fall, we're putting out a goby bait and a Demiki minnow. So more finesse stuff, but that's what everybody loves. That's what everybody wants. So.
Damn. So how long have you guys been in business for?
Since January of 21.
Wow. So you guys are just cranking out baits and just trying to basically find different concepts for people to use. What's the process look like from start to finish? Do you kind of have a notepad where you sketch down different ideas for baits? Is it kind of just talking to different people in the industry? Like, what's that whole process kind of look like?
So I get an idea and I kind of sketch it out, and then I'll have a few guys, I call them the OGs, that we sponsor right from the get-go. They were, yeah, we're with you, you know, we love what you're doing, and you know, the baits work, we'll help you any way we can. So I send them ideas, I bounce stuff back and forth with them, and you know, they'll write back, you should tweak this, you should add this, make this a little longer, shorter, whatever. So then they're actually from Pennsylvania, manufacturer, Fat Guys Fishing. We you might have seen them at the Philly show if you went. But they're good guys, Kevin and Craig. So I got hooked up with them. They're an hour and a half from me, so you know, any questions, I give them a call. I make a quick drive down the turnpike, get stuck in traffic 2 hours, and we work it out. But it's been good. It's a process. It's long. It's extremely expensive. The one thing that we have done is to try and set ourselves apart. Like Fat Guys Fishing, they have a ton of molds, like hundreds, and there's a lot of manufacturers that make their own. So when I started out myself, we were using, you know, Do It and some molds that essentially anybody can use. So you're never going to be successful or get people talking about you if you're using the same thing that somebody else down the street can do. There's only so many colors that somebody can make, right? And for the most part, it's going to be your green pumpkins and black and blues. So the sketching aspect is huge, and making that become a reality. I got in touch with somebody who, his name's Tom. He's our go-to. We keep him a secret. He sketches some stuff up, turns it into reality on the CAD. I then take that to the manufacturer. They make it into the mold. Like this next one, the howitzer, we're doing a single cavity, just a prototype. Get that, see how it shoots, see how it moves in the water, and then we turn that into the bigger mold itself. So it's extremely long, extremely expensive for someone like myself. That day I spoke about, it was probably a month until I got some funds out. So I pulled funds literally from my pension system, from my pension, and to fund this. So that was a huge risk, but it's been paying off, and I'm glad we did it. You know, a lot of these bigger companies, they've been around forever, so it's tough to get that angler that's been using Strike King or Zoom for the last 20 years to try something different. So that's what we try and do. We try and keep it a little variety.
Absolutely. I think especially for like the local market too, around Philadelphia. I like personally, I love supporting small businesses in or around our area too. And I know we've had a couple guys on the podcast too that fish around the area of the Philadelphia. And it's cool to see that you guys are, yes, it's created in Philadelphia, your company's based in Philadelphia, but also your manufacturer is also based in Philadelphia. So kind of keeps it all within the PA, Philadelphia region. It's cool to see that for sure.
Yeah, from the glitter to the purling to the plastisol we use, down to, you know, the mold themselves, the aluminum, everything is American made. We say made in the colonies. The only thing that's not is obviously the plastic aspect, the clamshells and whatnot, because I would make $0 if I bought in America, unfortunately.
It is, but the one thing I like about your baits too that I was looking at, because I bought a pack at the Great American Outdoor Show, so you actually have the name, I believe it's the name of your brand on the soft plastic.
Yes.
Like it's built into the mold, which I thought was like really cool.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we have Fisher Dye right on there. So every custom bait we have, I want to say we have 19, possibly 20 different molds right now, including our saltwater line. And every single bait that we have says either FOD or Fisher Dye. So we'll continue to do that. It's a little, like you said, it's a little aesthetic that people admire and respect. So
Definitely. So being a veteran-owned and law enforcement-owned company, right? It's something that I personally love, and thank you for your service, by the way, too. What branch did you serve in?
I was the Army Reserves. So
Okay.
I was in for 8 years. I came out. I did my MOS was vertical engineering. So then I actually got hired as a plumber. Um, a big brand in the valley here called Mates Home Services. So I had my own truck. I would go do service calls and whatnot. And another horrendous day at work made me go to the police academy and put myself through. Um, I was in Reading for a clogged toilet. It was great. And then I was on call that day and got sent to Mount Pocono. It was like a 3-hour drive to go under some guy in New York. He wasn't even there. It's just a New Yorker's vacation home. I went into the crawl space for a water line that burst because it was 10 degrees out, and came home. I'm like, I don't like this. So then put myself through the academy. Again, huge risk. Me and my wife just bought a house. I was 22 at the time, and it worked out, thankfully. So I got hired by a city department here in the valley, and been doing good.
Business owners and marketing professionals in the Philly area, Bad Rhino takes the overwhelm out of digital marketing. With tailored digital marketing services, from social media management to SEO and PPC advertising, our expert team navigates the complexities of the digital ad space for your business. Let Bad Rhino lead you to success. Visit badrhinoinc.com and let's take your business to new heights. Bad Rhino, we do digital marketing, so you don't have to.
So how much of like your experience, both at the police, being a policeman and also veteran too, like how much of that experience can you take over to owning your own company?
Well, here it's nice. I don't have to take shit from anybody, for one. I'm my own boss, so the correct decisions are made, and it all falls on me, which is nice. The only decision maker other than my wife, she has a ton of input, obviously, but she helps me out. When we get a huge order and I'm working the whole weekend, whatever the case may be, or we get a call out because I'm on SWAT. She helps out, so she'll actually, some of the bait that guys are using has been made by my old lady. But yeah, it's good. It's good. It's helped me. The mental toll, because I work 12 hours. So to work 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I wake up at 3 a.m., work out before work, work till 6 p.m. I got 3 young boys, oldest being 5. So the house is a zoo. Sit down, eat dinner with them, go into the garage, into the shop, which I transformed into the bait making office, and hang out bait for a few hours, wake up the next morning and do it all over again. So
It's funny. It's funny.
fun.
As I talk to like people in the fishing industry that own their own company, it's like, if you really want to fish, don't own your own company. That's what everyone always tells me. It's like, because you'll never have time to go out and actually like fish.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
how about just
I get out all the time, and it's like, I want to go out with you, but I can't.
it's just like no free time, right? And like,
Yeah.
do you ever take out your kids? Like, do you ever take them out fishing, or is it just kind of like all hands on deck right now for what you got going on with the company?
A little bit of both. We try. There's a pond somewhat close to my house that we head to, and they're not throwing any of this stuff right now. Obviously, I hook them up with a bobber and a night crawler or something, but they love it. They're all into it.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. When you're young, you just want to catch fish. It's like,
Yeah, and it puts a smile on my face. I have a blast doing it, watching them freak out over a freaking sunny.
that's what it's all about. Let's talk about, because we met here, so it's only really fitting to talk about it. Let's talk about the Great American Outdoor Show, and going there. I don't know if it was your first time there. Or you've been there multiple years before it, but tell me a little bit what that experience was like getting in there, and then how hectic really that whole scene is on like Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, that was wild. I didn't anticipate how long 9 days actually was for that. Leading up to it, I was very nervous, to be honest with you, because again, huge risk, right? I'm investing, a few thousand into it, hoping that it pays off. And it did, luckily. We made out great. We made our money back by the third day, I want to say. And the biggest thing for that is, like, I'm good with marketing the brand itself, and that's one thing I pride myself in, and networking. So when I was there, I spoke with you. I spoke with a ton of guys in the industry who gave me some good insight, good advice, and that's key, because I'll say I'm not a great fisherman by any means. I'm not the best of the best, and that's one thing that's nice, is surrounding yourself with knowledgeable individuals that'll kind of guide you in the right direction if need be. So it was good. I mean, making thousands and thousands of bait prior to, very hectic. Like I just said, eating dinner, coming down to the garage, staying up till midnight, 1 a.m., cranking them out. My wife doing it while I'm at work to try and catch up. But it was good. It was very fun being there, and having guys come up and be like, dude, I follow you on Instagram. I'm a huge fan. Love your stuff. I made one order before. I saw that you were going to be here, and then, like, shaking hands, and it was cool. It was rewarding.
Definitely. When someone comes up to, there's nothing best. Like, there's one guy there. It's like, oh, you're the guy from TikTok. And I was like, I looked up. I've never got that before, dude. Like, she just completely threw me off guard.
Yeah, it's big.
It feels good though. I love it.
And the one thing, like I said, with the marketing, just our whole mentality with the brand and whatnot, people resonate with that, especially nowadays with the freaking crazy world we live in. So even guys or girls who don't fish, like, they see the logo and the wording and everything, our apparel that we have, and they're like, oh, that's cool. So it was an eye catcher. So we had a ton of people come through the beat, even if they didn't get, bait or something, or a hat, or, talk maybe 5-10 minutes, and it was good. It was a good time.
That's awesome. So let's stick with the marketing trend, kind of, because I know you guys are doing a collab with a Tackle Box Fishing Co. in New Jersey. I thought it was pretty cool seeing that on your website. So why don't you just fill me and the listeners in kind of about what all that's about?
Yeah, so Phil's entire family, his father passed away last year. Unfortunately, he was there for years. I want to say the 70s they started in the high ends, and ever since that I was 2 years old, we've been going to the Tackle Box, run across the highway to Dunkin' Donuts, get donuts, go to the point, and walk the mile out to the point, and fish from shore. So when we started this, my dad said, how cool would it be to get in the Tackle Box? I'm like, it would be cool. At the time, we didn't have any saltwater stuff. So my truck's wrapped with the logo, everything. So we had the 16-foot pontoon that I'm recording on now. Had that hooked up. We were going to go to the point, and obviously stopping at the Tackle Box. So as I'm pulling in, I think it was his son as well, Patty. But Phil and Patty were out front, and they looked over and they're like, "Oh shit, fish or die." And I walked in, shook his hand. I'm like, "Phil, love you. I've been coming here for years, this and that. Would you be willing to give me a shot?" Like, and right from the get, like, Phil's an awesome dude. He's very, very knowledgeable. He's been in the industry for years. So he's like a New Jersey legend there, Route 36. And he gave us the shot. I had an idea for the collab as far as the shirt that we did. So we're launching. It's pre-order right now, the tank top, but we had a long sleeve shirt and sweatshirt with them with an awesome logo called Battle of the Bay. And I sent it to him. He freaking loved it. And we went back and forth with it. And in the process, he had some ideas for baits, which obviously I think can make happen. So it's been an awesome relationship, and he's put me in touch with some good people. And I think by the end of this week, some of those connections will pay off. I think we're going to be in 3 new shops. So it's good.
That's real good.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So that's over in Jersey. And it's interesting to see like kind of like how these things grow is like from the start and it kind of expands out. And I know we were kind of talking about this in the different stores you're trying to get into and all that. So right now, are you guys majority in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, kind of northeast areas, and you're looking to kind of get down to like the Florida area too?
Yeah, absolutely. We want to get down south. We have a bunch of anglers that we sponsor down south, whether that's Florida, Texas, Alabama. We have an awesome guy, Justin, who's been killing it. We have guys out in California. We have guys everywhere, but it's a different concept to get into the stores there. You know what I mean? So to have one of those guys walk into the shop, be like, hey, I'm with this company. This is how I perform with the baits, whether that's pictures, holding checks, whatever the case may be. Like our guy, Ronnie, I don't know if you met him that day. He actually flew up from Oklahoma. He's a stud. He flew up from Oklahoma, helped us out for, I'm going to say 4 days and went back home. But he got 11th at one of the Hobie events down there. And, that's huge. Wearing our jersey, hat, holding a big check. So things like that, having the reputation behind the company to go into a shop and be like, this is the company, this is me. I think you guys should, give them a chance. And it's tough to do. Believe me, it's tough to do. But it works out sometimes, and we're very thankful for that.
I love that too. Like build it from like user generated content. More people see you catching fish on your lures, of course. It's like, hey, it works, right? So I love that. Cool, man.
Yeah, and it's different because it's firsthand knowledge. So you're not getting the guy, coming in with a briefcase who's literally paid to walk into the store and kind of sell you something. It's firsthand knowledge. It's down to earth, blue collar guys. So that's how we want the brand to be and what people to know us for.
I love that. Cool. So Taylor, if you could just fill everyone in, I like doing this at the end of the podcast here. Let people know where they can find you, find out more information on like your website and all your social medias too. And as you say, I'll plug them into my notes here and I'll put them in the description.
Yeah. So the site itself is FisherDieBaitCompany.com. Fisher Die was taken. The URL is $10,000 to buy, so we skipped on that. So FisherDieBaitCompany.com, Instagram, that's where you find us the most. That's going to be Fisher Die Bait Co. at the end, and Facebook will be the exact same. And I almost forgot, we just launched our own scent. So we're bottling it up. That's going to be called Stenches of the Trenches. Because I don't know if you notice all the scents, they're obviously war themed. So we got poison gas, we got napalm, Agent Orange, some cool stuff. And that's an awesome logo. We're doing some tank tops in that here shortly. So
nice. That's stenches that people can drop their other soft plastics into too. Just to give that extra kind of bite.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. Cool. Man, I'll definitely link all that in the description and have people check that out. Taylor, I appreciate you jumping on here, doing this quick little podcast for me. And yeah, man, I hope to see you guys kind of grow in the future, and definitely will always be a supporter of you, being that you're from Nazareth, PA.
Absolutely, bro. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
You just listened to the Fishing Fanatics podcast with your host, Eric Stewart. Feel free to check out our other podcasts and our other interviews on our channel on Spotify, YouTube, and much more. Check out our Instagram page, TikTok, and Facebook as well. Sorry.